Just keep fighting for me and keep showing your love and support.
Okay. I just got home. Give me like 5 seconds, and then I'll go jump on my computer. I did a whole bunch of errands, and I have a bunch of like decorations and stuff that I got for Halloween. And one of the things are these flowers. I just want to make sure I get them in water right now. I literally just walked in the door. That'll do for now, and then I'll take care of it after the live. And I just want to get the frozen stuff in the freezer, which I think is just this thing, and then this thing. Ooh. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Did you get that?
Oh, I will get it.
Is that your mother's?
No, it's mine.
You left your gate open.
No, I put it in the bathroom, and the bathroom door is open.
Ah,
Come on. You got my shoe.
no way, sir.
All right, 2 more seconds. I promise. Close the bathroom door. Now I need to go into my bedroom door. I have my cat in here, so it's going to be very loud. Wasn't as loud as I thought, because sometimes when the cat's trying to get out. All right. You know, it's not a live that I'm doing if it's kind of hectic in the beginning of it, right? All right. Said enter studio. Okay. Ta-da! Here I am. So it was a bit hectic there. I had a slow start this morning. I had like some stuff I wanted to do, like clean out my car and I just couldn't keep up with my own little schedule, which was very tight. It was a very tight schedule. Like, so that's why I delayed it for an hour. I messaged Pete, and I sent him the link. I don't think he's even seen my message. So that tells me he's probably very busy with family, or, yeah, I can't even tell because everything's kind of like, anyway, it's all good. Maybe next weekend, because I know he's told me he's missed being on here and he's missed you guys. So hopefully maybe next weekend we can be a little bit more organized. It's just a little bit harder these days because honestly, there's just a lot of stuff to do. And my mom's health isn't the best right now, so I've been helping her out a lot and doing more stuff around the house. But hopefully by next weekend, Pete will be back. Yeah, but other than that, how have you guys been doing? Last time I talked to Brendan last weekend, he was doing really good. He sounded really positive. I'm trying to think of exactly. I know last weekend was popcorn Friday, and I want to get back to that kind of stuff. That's what I keep trying to remind myself to get back more into these things that we used to do a lot more of. Like, I know he's having a meal coming up, and I think it's next month. It's like October something, and he's having pizza. And so I'm going to make an event for that. So I'm actually going to write this down now that I'm talking to you guys about it. So there's actually a couple of things that are coming up that I would like to do. It's going to get very busy for us, for us supporters, because we're getting the holidays. And I try to keep busy for Brendan during the holidays to distract him from the fact that he's not home for the holidays. Like, it's really hard this time of year. I'd say from September on through March, actually, even in March, because March 1st is the anniversary of when Brendan was first arrested and taken home. So it's going to get busy. And plus, we've got rally planning still happening. If anybody wants to be a part of that, please message me and I'll drop you the Discord link to be a part of the rally planning. It's just, we're all trying to get together once a week. It used to be on today, Fridays, but we're finding, because people are busy, we have families and stuff, and it's getting a little harder. So we might be changing the day of when we meet up for rally meetings. But we're doing that. But so anyway, we got the pizza event next month, and I'll have to ask him again, but I think it's like October, in the month of October. We've got Halloween coming up. I'm gonna create the page for the pumpkin, if you guys carve pumpkins. So we've got the pumpkin carving. It's not a contest, it's just a event I throw on that people can post their pumpkins, their Halloween decorations. And then we can do the costume contest. We did that. We do that every year. Costume contest coming up. And it's like simple little prizes. First place will probably get like a t-shirt or something. And then second place can get some stickers and a pen, stuff like that. It's just mostly to keep Brendan entertained, right? So, and then we've got the ugly sweater contest. Ugly sweater contest that always goes very well. I don't know if we actually announced the winner last year because we were getting used to this new system with the emails and the mail system, and it took forever. But now that it kind of changed a little bit, I'm able to send pictures a little bit faster. So, we'll be able to get those results back sooner. And so that's exciting. And then we've got Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween. I'm probably gonna talk to my mod. Carrie, every week, every Friday, she posts Free for All Friday. And I'm going to talk to her about maybe me and her can switch off. And then, like, she can do a Free for All Friday. And then the following week, I can do a theme kind of thing. Because we've got the holidays coming up and we've got birthday coming up too. Here, let me actually... I don't know if I can do this anymore. Did you know StreamYard charges like $35 now for an account? $35. I'm not going to pay $35 a month just so I can flash a picture on the screen when I can just share my screen. Like, that's ridiculous, StreamYard. Ridiculous. So I'm just going to do this. There ain't nothing wrong with doing this. This is free, StreamYard. Anyway, so his birthday's coming up next month. So if you guys can start getting those cards in for him, so then that way he can start getting them. Because, like, it does take a bit. Snail mail still takes a bit to get to him. And I do ask that you guys, even though he is getting just the copies of the cards, we still have to follow the rules of the facility. Which, you know, no glitter, no perfume, no stickers, stuff like that. So keep that in mind. But yeah, we just got tons of stuff coming up. So I'm probably going to go live more often to talk about these things and to make sure that we're all, you know, jumping on this to do this. Because like I said, this is to help distract Brendan from his reality of, unfortunately, not being able to be home for the holidays. You know, like, I'm sure Brendan would love nothing more than to go trick-or-treating with his nephews, you know, and then or open presents with his mom on Christmas Day. Like, you know, it's hard this time of year for him. It's harder than, you know, the rest of the year. So, you know, that's why we do this. We do this to help him, to help give him that distraction, to help bring a smile to his face. And yeah, so we've got that stuff going on. And yeah, the website is doing great. I've got tons of addresses already. So if you guys haven't heard, I actually changed the way I do... here, let me see. I changed the way I'm collecting addresses for the postcards. So if you guys go, this is the only way you guys... Hey, Regina, thank you for being here. So this is the only way you guys are going to get postcards from me from here on out. You go to the BrendanDassey.com, like you see here. And then up here at this tab is order postcards. So you click on the tab. Here's a nice little paragraph I'd said about the postcards. It even has a link to our YouTube page where they talk about the postcard campaign that made it to the news. Oh, that was pretty cool. And then down here, this is please note. This is important. If you'd like to join the mailing list, I will send out postcards once a month for 6 months. Towards the end of the 6-month period, I'll send a courtesy email reminding you to resign if you wish to continue. So this is the form, and it's pretty simple. It's your name, your email address, your mailing address, and you just click either I want to be added to the mailing list or I do not want to be added to the mailing list. If you click I don't want to be added to the email list or the postcard list, that just means that you will only get postcards once from me, and that's it. I'll only send you one envelope. It'll have the same kind of stuff as a normal envelope. Like, I sent one out of all the addresses I got recently. I sent one. It was just one, had 10 postcards in it. It had a couple of stickers in it. You know, that's all I'm going to send. If you want more, then you have to come back to the website and fill it out again and click which one you want. If you click the 6-month one, then I add your name to my mailing list that I have on the computer, that I have all nice and organized. And once a month, I will be sending you 10 postcards, and they'll have like a sticker in it or two for you guys, because that's my way of thanking you for doing this. And yeah, and then it'll happen for once a month. I have it set to where when the group of people for like this month, for instance, everybody who signed up for this month for the mailing list, I have it already set up to remind me in, was it March? Let me look. Yeah, in March. So I will email you guys and remind you that, hey, it's the last month for postcards. So if you'd like more postcards, please go to the website and fill out the form again. And then, how often are you going to send them out? Once a month. I'm going to send them out once a month for you guys. 10 postcards for once a month. You can send once a month. So you can send a couple of postcards a week. If you are, and I will say this, if you are finding yourself wanting more postcards, don't be afraid to still reach out to me, and I will send you more postcards. I'm not limiting necessarily. I'm just trying to create a better system to do this for me, because before I would have emails, I'd have messages, I'd have PMs. Sometimes the PMs on Facebook would go to my junk folder, and I wasn't seeing them for a while there. And, I felt bad. So this is a way to make it a little bit more organized, with that. So you just go to BrendanDassey.com, you go to order postcards, you fill out the form, and Bob's your uncle. Where can I send you some money to help you with postage? I feel so uncomfortable taking donations. You can ask anybody who knows me. So I don't really feel comfortable saying necessarily, like, this is free. This is free. So I guess you can send it to my PayPal, but really, honestly, like, you don't have to. Like, I planned for this. I budgeted into my paycheck every 2 weeks, and so that's the other reason why I'm doing this. So, like, I have a long list of people accept the help. Yeah, if you guys really want to, use your time, send some money. Okay, hold on. If you guys really want to, my PayPal, actually, I think there's a way I can do this. Hold on. Someone tried to hack into my PayPal recently, and that was new. Wait. I don't know what this all means. I guess this one? No, cancel. I don't know what you're trying to do. Log in. Cancel. Try another way. Log in with your password. What the heck? I don't understand technology anymore these days, so hold on. Do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Okay, let me see how I can do this. How do I do this? Wait, don't I already have this? Is this how I'm doing it? Brendan talks. Help Brendan. Next. I don't want to do all that. Oh, one social media account is required. Huh. I don't want to do this anymore. Hold on. I'm just going to post my email address. I'm just going to do that. If you guys, you don't have to. So, wait, that's not it. Well, like I said, this isn't expected. I don't expect anybody to do anything. That's my email address that's connected to my PayPal. So if you guys really want to donate to the postcard, you can just use that. Also, if you guys live in another country and you would like to donate to Brendan directly, to have money put into his commissary, that's another way you guys can do it, because you can't necessarily, if you're in another country, you can't go to his Access Corrections page and donate. Unfortunately, it's only for Americans. So if you guys are in another country, you can send me the PayPal, and then just make sure you put this is for Brendan's commissary, and I will directly put it into his commissary, and I'll even screenshot it for you and send you the screenshot of the email or whatever, of me doing that for you. You can also send the money to Barb's PayPal. We're fixing to do a series on Stephen Avery roundtable discussion. Yeah, please email me. I'd love to be a part of that too. Even though this is mostly for Brendan, I do support Stephen as well. Like, I agree he's innocent, and he needs to go home just as much as Brendan does. Turn on blah blah blah. So anyway, yeah. But feel free to email me, Broken, and we'll definitely anything you need help with too, as far as his case details or anything like that. I'm not an expert in his case, but I know people that can help you too. So, like, I don't know if you've ever checked out Foul Play. There's what's it called? YouTube channel called Foul Play. And they cover the Stephen Avery case, and they've got their Discord. They've got a website. It's just like really, what am I trying to say? It's really chock full of information and all sorts of stuff in there. Sometimes you'll see me in their chat if I'm not at work or whatever. Here it is. Foul Play, copy. You guys can go check that out. They have everything you want to know. Yeah, they keep up. They even request records you would never think that you would ever want to look at involving this case. They've got all sorts of receipts and stuff that the sheriff's department, charged the account that was involved with the case, and like all sorts of stuff. Like, and you can just go through it if you want. Some of it's relative, some of it's not, some of it's interesting, some of it's boring, but it's all pretty cool. And they're not bad people, and they're doing the best they can. They're like me. This isn't their daytime job. They put just as much time and effort and free time into it, like, a lot of us do. So, but yeah, that's the postcard thing. And like I said, you've got the different things coming up: Halloween, the pizza event, pumpkin carving, costume contest, ugly sweater contest. You can find all the documents in case as well. Yes. The website. Let me see if I can find the Foul Play website. I think it's foulplay.co. No. Oh, that's a band. Is there a band called Foul Play? That's pretty funny. Shop. Well, shoot. foul play dot, what is, it's not .com, it's like dot foul play. Let me try this. Making a murderer. Here, foulplay.site. There's like a banned foul play. That's pretty funny. You emailed me. Okay. .co. It's .site. See, I already looked. The foulplay.co is that band or something. It's like a band. The selling merchandise. It says foul play on it. The honest person that decides to do something about it, Wisconsin. Yeah, unfortunately, that's kind of where we're at with it. Hey, Sabrina. You're fine. You're cool. Thank you for stopping by. But yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, with Brendan's case especially, it's kind of at a point where if new evidence doesn't pop up, we're basically waiting on the governor to show mercy to Brendan. Hey, Jerome. Hey, buddy. And stay if you can. Yeah. And tonight, but we'll play later. Yeah, no worries, Nan's Life. I appreciate you guys when you show up, just even to say hi. I think it's awesome, and I appreciate it. Something else that is happening. Let's see, it's September, October, November. So it's like in 2 months, I think, is Linda's first year anniversary of her passing. And I've been kind of like racking my head, what can I do to honor Linda? I've been trying to cover the Elijah case in a way to honor her because it's a missing child, which she was very passionate about. And this case happens to be in Two Rivers, where Pete's from, and where Brendan and all of them. That's their home. So it just felt right to kind of like cover it. But I'm not the expert at that kind of stuff. I'm trying my best, and it's a lot of research and work into it. Hey, Cherie. But so I'm trying, but I want to do something the month of November for her anniversary. And I'm thinking I want to do something advocate wise for Brendan. Because as you all know, she was more than passionate about Brendan and his case. Like her heart bled for Brendan. It just, everything, her heart hurt for Barb, for Scott, for Brendan. Like she was just really, really, really more like she says that she used to say to me, like, nobody does more than you, Becca, for Brendan. But I think she did more emotional for me than me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to say it because like she was just this very emotional, very emotionally in touched person who just had like this biggest heart, and she felt for both of us, I think, because a lot of times I feel like I have to shut down my emotion to get through this because you guys know the story. It's hard. It's heartbreaking. It's extremely difficult to picture a child like Brendan being into this situation, and then how he's still there, and like all the horrors that you see in prison and he grew up with. Like, this is his reality, and like can't, even something like hugging his mom, he can't do that for more than like a few minutes, not even a few minutes, like maybe 30-second hug. Like it's just awful. And but yeah, so I don't know, it was like we both complimented each other, like she was the heart of the operation. I want to say she was the heart. And it is challenging. It's still challenging that she's not here, and I'm trying to navigate all this stuff without her, and it's hard. But you know, we got to keep going for Brendan. But I just want to do something in honor of her for Brendan. So maybe there's some sort of thing we can do in November. You know, I don't know. I'll ask Brendan too, because you know he was her friend too. She really was passionate. Like I can't even tell you how many times we would talk just in private, and she'd just start crying for Brendan. Like that's just how much she cared and loved for him. She really, like, her heart was really for Brendan. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, you're gonna make me cry, Jerome. I actually look up a lot to Richard and to Eric Ozzie. I actually look up a lot to him. It's kind of weird. I didn't really have a relationship with him. You know, it was very like we were acquaintances, if anything, but I admired his work and just like everything he put into it. It was just like he just knew what he was doing, and everybody. He was so charismatic, and he was such an like amazing, engaging person on YouTube, and he, you know, he was very calm and patient too, in a way. Like he wasn't I don't know. He just was like, he wasn't about the drama. He wasn't about the hate. He just wanted to support Brendan. And I look up to him a lot in that. And I try to aspire to be more like him in that way, you know? But yeah, BB and Linda, I miss wholeheartedly. Like a chunk of my heart's gone. So like, I don't want to be dramatic about it, but she was totally amazing. I've never met anyone like her. Yeah, she really was truly one of a kind. Yep, they led the way. They crawled so we could run. Is that the saying? Or they walked so we can run? They were really, really passionate. And they've done a lot for this community in a lot of wonderful ways. Same time, I don't know how I feel about... Oh, don't even say that, Broken. She wouldn't like you saying that. You know, she would want you to appreciate life and live it to the fullest, you know. It's a lot of valuable people through these first. Brendan Soul got great. Oh yeah, they did. They lost some voices. A lot of people point out to me that ever since Eric Ozzie died, it's just not the same in the community, and it's just not the same passion and fire and, you know, like drive to want to be a part of it. Like it's very hard now to get people motivated to do, like, I don't want to like make anybody feel bad because I know life happens. So like, don't think that I'm trying to like judge anybody when they can't go to a rally or they can't do this or they can't. That has nothing to do with it. But I've noticed that in the last few years, it is harder to get people to be more interested in like the live streams or going to the rally or participating in sending postcard or even sending a birthday card. Like it's just getting harder and harder every year. And I think it's because like nothing's happening, especially for Brendan. That's a good idea, Jennar. That might be what we do. I'm going to highlight that. You know, it's getting harder and harder every year to convince people, like, speak up, you know, Brendan still needs you. And, you know, we need to pay attention and we need to do this and we need to do that. And it's a little bit harder. And I've noticed, I don't want to say names or anything because this is not about dissing anybody, but I've noticed like during rally, one person tried to get people to like sign like an open letter to Governor Evers, and I didn't know about it until after the fact that this was happening, but I skimmed the letter and I skimmed the signatures, and I was just kind of like, I was sad because there was barely like 50 signatures on it, and in my mind I'm like, we've got groups that have like thousands of people, in these groups, right? Like my group has like 1,000 people in it, right? I know the family group has like 70K. Isn't it 70K in their group? The Justice and Freedom group, I don't know, like 10K. I don't know. I'm just guessing on that one too. All of these people in all of these groups, and it's getting harder. And that was like a big thing to me. I was like, wow, like this letter should have gotten hundreds of signatures, if even. It should have gotten more than that. Like the petition should have gotten thousands upon, and you're lucky if you can get a petition going with 3K. That's a good, yeah, I like that idea. We're going to go back to that, but I'm on my soapbox for a minute here about participation. So, yeah. See, and that's the thing, Sheree, like I didn't know about it until after the fact. And the person that is running that, they don't like me and they often leave me out, but there have been times where I still emailed them and tried to add my name to whatever. And I don't know if she's actually done that, but to me, at the end of the day, it's about Brendan, too many groups with too many egos. I agree. I wish we could all come together. I really do. And I know it's hard because there are a lot of different personalities. And I'm not saying I'm perfect or anything in all of it. I wish we all could just come together, though, and work together for Brendan. Avocation has become some sort of competition, has created division. Everyone should be working together. No, I agree. Everyone should be working together. I absolutely agree. The thorn bushes. What are you talking about, Broken? What thorn bushes? Thorn bushes. But yeah, I feel the same, and my email's always open to any of those people that do. Like, for a while there, me and another person who was running a group, we were kind of button heads there, and recently, we kind of just set things aside, and now we're working together, and it's nicer. Like it's much nicer to work with people than it is to be against each other, and like, so that's honestly what I want. So, I just posted my email. If anybody out there that does want to, talk or whatever, like, there you go. But that is something that I hope for eventually in the future, is we can all come together, because I'm telling you guys, to me, it feels like a prophecy. It feels, it feels kind of like a prophecy that it's not going to be okay until everybody comes together. You know what I mean? Like, as soon as all the groups and all the people and everybody just eventually sets down their differences and sets down their BS issues and all that, and their pride and their egos, and they all decide to come together, it's almost like nothing good's going to happen until that happens. I would love to see you at the rally, Broken. That would be awesome. We're still making plans for the rally. It's still up in the air. I don't want to make any definite announcements yet as far as dates and all that, because we're technically kind of still working on it. I figured we have until January to really announce the date. But just know that we are going to have a rally. We're trying to bring it to more of a nicer event place, so that way we can have so we can have open talks or whatever. We've invited a few people, and I don't want to like give too much away because it's not 100% yet, but I emailed some pretty big names in the game, and a couple of them have gotten back to me saying that they're gonna put it on their calendar. And when I mean pretty big names in the game, I mean they're pretty big names in the game. So, consider coming. It'll, if anything, it's like a family reunion in a way where you get to see everybody again. But we're trying to also set it up to where If like you can't come, like I know there's a lot of like, for instance, Jerome, let's say he wants to be a part of it. We're trying to come up with a way to where we can do like a Zoom call thing. So people like, Dr. Silkman or Jerome or Paul Capaldi, they can still give like a little talk or whatever and still be interactive with like an audience. So we're definitely, we've got some plans and hopefully they pan through. So if you guys decide to join the rally discussion and, decide to be a part of the planning, you'll know all these little secrets I'm talking about right now on what we're planning. But anyway, it is BS that people put their own feelings for helping Brendan. Like, I don't like so-and-so, so I'm not going to include her in signing. Yeah, well, unfortunately, that's just how people are. It's a control thing. We need to put some more emphasis into the groups. Maybe Eddie with no, I don't know what you're trying to say. Groups, Eddie with no development. They don't give it. I don't know what that means. I'm the one that's always wagging in behind. I know. Oh, you're fine. Broken. But yeah, I like this idea about maybe there's like a donation, an organization we can donate to in Linda's name. That maybe something to do with missing children, because like I said, she was really passionate about it. Maybe Brendan will have a nice idea too, because I want him to somehow, because like I said, she was passionate about missing children and Brendan Dassey, and I want to somehow incorporate all of that. Which, by the way, a lot of people have been asking me, what's the best way? What can I do for Brendan on his birthday? Like, what special thing can I do for Brendan on his birthday? A lot of people ask, can he get gifts and all that? And honestly, right now, I asked him, and he said he's going to get back to me on it. So I think he's thinking about it. But right now, as of right now, if you guys want to do more than anything, just send him a card. Yeah, send him a card, because that means more than you guys realize that it does. Like, he counts his birthday cards, by the way, guys. Like, he counts, and he hopes that it's more cards than it is the year before. So, and when he doesn't get enough cards, he gets a little disappointed. I'm not joking. So birthday cards are very important to him. To him, that shows the love for him. You know what I mean? Another thing you can do, after you send a birthday card, if you want to put some money in his commissary, he always appreciates that kindness. Laser noise, they tore down the thorn bushes so we wouldn't get cut. Oh, okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah, let's give him lots of cards to count. I'm not even joking about that, because he'll count them, especially Christmas cards too. So, get prepared to send those. But Christmas cards and birthday cards, he likes to keep a count on them, and then he pays attention to how many cards he gets. And last year, I don't think it was a lot. Like, the first year, he got hundreds of cards, and then year after year, it kind of dwindles down. So, yeah. And honestly, I know one person once said, like, don't send him too many cards, because he has a limit. But what's the difference between one person sending 10 cards and 10 people sending one card? You know what I mean? So if you want to send 10 cards, go for it. Getting all my postcards together, all that. They didn't hand them all. Oh, okay. That's cool. But yeah. So yeah, those are the two things. Like, most of all, you can send him a card. It's very important. You can donate to his commissary. If you're in America, you can do it. It's accesscorrections.com. If you're out of the country, you can PayPal it to Barb. You can PayPal it to me, whatever you feel comfortable with. And then I asked him if there was anything that he wanted, like if there was like something from the catalog he wanted, or if there was any books that he wanted. He does like to read books, but you have to ask him before you send him that kind of stuff, because that is something that if he gets too many books at once, he has to send them home to get the other new books. It's just like a fine line process with the books. So that's why I always tell people to ask him first. But like I asked him if there was any books that maybe someone can send him. So I think he's thinking about it and he'll get back to me. I also asked him if there was like an organization that we can donate to in his name, you know, in case he doesn't want books or if there's nothing in the catalogs, you know. So I'll ask him again tomorrow when he calls. But you know, but those are the main things. It's just a card in the mail and you know, a prayer. If you want to donate money, commissary, you know, but it's mostly the card. He really looks forward to mails, coloring pages. It's just to let you guys know, though, if you decide to send him a coloring page, you need to send it in a separate envelope by itself. So, like, you get like 1 page of coloring page per envelope with nothing else in it. No, once you send, so like let's say for instance, you have limits on everything that you in the catalog. Like you're supposed to only have 1 toothbrush, right, in your cell at all times, just 1 toothbrush. So if you buy a new toothbrush, you have to throw away the old toothbrush. So like let's say 20 people send him a toothbrush. They're his, but he has to send 20 toothbrushes home. And once they leave the prison, he can't get them back. So Barb can't send him a toothbrush once a year like that. He can't, it doesn't happen. So that's why, you know, and when he sends those things home, if he gets too much of them, it's on his dime. He has to pay for the postage to send it home. So that's why it's very important before anybody orders him any books or any items in the catalog or anything like that, you write to him first and you ask him. Or you can ask Barb, or you can ask me, or whatever, you know what I mean? But yeah, so and the books are kind of the same thing. You have to receive books a certain way, yes. So when you send him a book, it has to be from a brand new source. So like Amazon, Barnes & Noble, it has to be brand new and it has to come with a receipt. If it doesn't come with a receipt, they won't give it to him. And I don't know the exact number off the top of my head on how many books he can have, but I'm just going to put out a number of 15. So like, let's say he can only have 15 books on him at one time, which means whether it's in his cell or whatever, it's 15 books. So let's say you send him 10 books. That means he has to send 10 books home before he can get those 10 books that you sent him. And sometimes he reads 2 or 3 books at once. So like it's a little tricky when people oversend books, and then it's like a fine line. You know what I mean? Like he has a system down on how he reads them, and you know when he sends them home, and yeah. So that's why, like I said, you have to ask him first, and he's also very particular on what he wants to read. Like I send him once a month a magazine. They don't send stuff home. They use the cheapest method either. Yeah. He gets this catalog. I send him this catalog once a month about manga, colored and comic books, because he really enjoys reading manga. So he actually will go through the catalog and he'll see the new mangas that are coming out and he'll make a little list, and then yeah. Okay, I will, Jennar. I'll write that down so I can remember. Remind email. Okay. You got it. I will. I certainly will. Okay. So yeah, it's a fine process with the whole mailing system, and it's the same way with letters and stuff too. Like he can only have like a certain amount of letters on him, but like I said, he has a system to where, you know, and the letters are more tricky because he has like I said, I don't know the exact number, but let's say 20. So he's allowed to have 20 letters on him at all time. That means incoming and outgoing. So if he's in the writing a letter, you know, he has to send off the letters around the same time that he's getting letters, and it's like a balance. So he's got a little system down. He sends letters home, I believe, or at least in the beginning he did. I don't know if he does now, honestly. They changed the system so much. Like for instance, he gets printed copies of the letters, so maybe they're not as sentimental to him. I don't know. I'll have to ask him actually, now that I'm thinking about it. I know in the beginning he used to send letters home to mom, and she has everything that he's ever sent her home in his room. It's beautiful and heartbreaking. I saw it years ago, his room, and it was beautiful what she did with the place, but it was heartbreaking because it's like missing Brendan. You know what I mean? It's missing the important element, which was Brendan, and that's it was just very heartbreaking. But I mean, everything that you send to Barb or Brendan sends to Barb the home, it's all stored safely in his room, and you know, he's got all sorts of presents and gifts waiting for him, and art and collectibles that people sent. Like, it's actually really cool. Last time I was there to like see all the love that was put in from supporters from all over the world, like the cards, and yeah, like he's gonna have a blast coming home to that, and I'm excited for that. You know, it was also funny to be like, oh, I painted that, you know, like, oh, I painted that too, like, because it's on the wall over there. So shirts came, yeah, he's set, and it's like, he's like, he probably will be so busy his first couple of months home, just being entertained with everything in that room. Like, she's got people sent games, movies, books, all sorts of stuff. Like, yeah, just, it's great. I'm smiling thinking about it because I know he's going to be so excited and happy to see it when he gets home. But yeah, got a lot in that room then too. Oh, I know. I can't even like imagine how much more there could be. I know. I think he mentioned to me once that, and I've seen them. When he gets books and he sends them home, I know Barb puts them in like a one of those big giant Tupperware things. And I think one time he made a comment to me how she had to go buy a couple more because of all the books. He's planning on having a library when he gets out. I'm not even joking. Like, all the books and manga you guys send to him, unless it's like a duplicate, the duplicates he can donate to the library. Hold on, I'll read this in a minute when I'm done finishing this thought. But he wants to create this like library of all the things that he's read in the manga and all that, and eventually pass it down to his nephews and or children. Like, he's really like, he has that thought into it. Like, and I think that's super cool and sweet. Like, he's planning for the future like that. Like, he wants to give down all these things, like the appropriate mangas too, like not the more adult themes, but not that he's getting like porn or anything. You know what I mean? Like, there's more violent stuff or whatever. I don't know how to say it, but anyway, without making it sound bad, it's not bad. But, you know, it's just some things kids can't read certain books and all that, you know what I mean? Anyway, so yeah, that's what he wants to do for his nephews. Like, and I just think that's so sweet that he wants to do that for them, you know? So that is a plan that he has, is to pass down those things to the children in the family. Barb should do a P.O. box for us to send to him so it doesn't cost him a thing, and it'll give them something to talk about when they see each other. I don't know what you mean, like that he can have access to? How many nieces and nephews does he have now? Brad has 2 kids. Bobby has 2 kids. Brian has 2 kids. Blaine has a kid. 2, 4, 6. I think like 7 or 8. Did I say Brad? Yeah. He's got 7 or 8 nephews, and I know he's got a niece, Natalie. So, like, instead of sending it to Brendan, we send it to the P.O. box, and Barb can go get it and take it home. So that way it's not costing Brendan anything to send it home, and then they can talk about it. You mean, like, instead of Brendan sending it to Barb, he sends it to the P.O. box? I mean, it still costs him money because he has to pay for postage when it leaves the prison. So I guess I'm a little confused about that. Send it to the P.O. box and Barb can go get it. I mean, we can set up a P.O. box for them and then pay for the P.O. box, but he would still have to pay for postage to send it to the P.O. box. I mean, honestly, if you guys want to help him with that kind of cost, the best thing to do is just to put money in his commissary, and he'll use it towards what he needs. And one of those things is stamps and envelopes and sending things home and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I don't know if the P.O. box thing, because like I said, he still has to pay for postage to send things to the P.O. box. I do think that would be cool if they had a P.O. box, because I know things are sent to their home address, and I get paranoid about my own address, even though, you know, I put it on the letters that I send you guys. I don't know what I do. I've been thinking about that myself, getting my own P.O. box. No, I mean, don't send it to Brendan, just send it straight to the P.O. box to Barb. I'm confused. I'm sorry. And send it to Brendan, just send it basically straight to the P.O. box. So, like, we send things to the P.O. box. And then Barb goes and picks it up from the P.O. box. Is that what you're saying? So when we send things to, when I say send things to Barb, you're saying we should set up a P.O. box for Barb so that we can send it to the P.O. box so she can go pick it up, and then whatever we send. Yeah. I mean, I can bring it up to her if she wants to do that. It's been out there for so long, and I don't know if she's had any issues with that. I know Linda used to say, like, oh, she shouldn't be using her address. She needs to put it here. But I mean, it's been out there for so long already, you know. The inmate just finished with, as long as the prison doesn't have to hold on to it for stuff very long. You know, when I would go visit my friend Devin, it was the same kind of thing. He had to fill out a form, and then the guard at the guard at the stand or the bench or whatever that was watching all of us during the visit, he'd hold on to it, and then when you were done with the visit, you would go up, and then the inmate would hand the form to the guard, and then the guard would check off on it and hand you the item or something like that. You know, he did that a few times with me when I went to visit him, but I'm not sure about how it works with Brendan. I know sometimes inmates, hold on 1 second. Sorry, we're gonna go eat dinner here soon. It's Fish Friday. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah. So I know in Brendan's prison, sometimes inmates will make something and you can buy that something and take it home, or Brendan can pay for it through his account and they can take it home. Because I think Pete and Barb both done that a few times during the holidays or whatever. So I think that's kind of cool. I don't know if he can do that with property that he has. I don't know. Each prison's different. I think that would be more effective and efficient if they could do that. But I would imagine if he could do that, he would do that, because Brendan's very frugal with his money, and I'm not joking when I say that. He's very frugal. So if there was a way that he could just like bring his books to the visit and then hand them off to mom or dad, and then they could bring it home, I'm thinking he would have done that. You know what I mean? But I can ask him. Because that is an actual interesting, and maybe that would help save a couple of bucks for him. But I can imagine Barb would be lugging home a lot of books after each visit, because he reads through a lot. Like, I'm not joking. If he can donate new books to prison, you'd have to contact the prison and ask them, Jennar. They might have some sort of system. I know each state prison systems allow certain books and don't allow certain books. And I know, so when Devin was in prison, he actually worked in the library, and the prisoners could request certain book series, and the prison would look at the request, and then they would look at the book series, and they would see, is this appropriate? Because believe it or not, even prisoners can't read anything. They can't have certain materials in there. And if it was approved, then the prison library's budget would then buy the books and then put them in the library. So I don't know how the donation thing works these days. But you can contact the prison and ask them about that, and maybe they can do that. I think, and I don't know. I think for Brendan, though, I think it's a little bit more special when he gets the book in the mail, because I think he feels it really means a lot to prisoners when they get mail and packages and stuff like that. How when you guys get fun mail, it's not bills or anything, like, oh, I got a letter, that kind of thing. But it means more to prisoners because they are so isolated from the world, to get things like letters and magazines and I think even books, so that I can ask him about what he thinks about that idea. But I have a feeling he would say he would rather get them in the mail. Because like I also said, he has a vision of creating a library of sorts to put these books that he's been getting after he's done reading them, and then to have like this library, and then be able to pass it down to the kids in his family. He really, really is looking forward to that. So but I don't think that's a bad idea, Jennar, and I think that's an awesome way to give back, to the prison. Oh yeah, that's what I'm told too. Almost every wrongfully convicted person and guilty person I've talked to in prison, mail is like the best. Like, emails are cool these days. Like, a lot of prisoners are doing the email thing. Like, that's awesome. But getting a card or a letter in the mail is like hearing, like, who was it that was, I think it was Daniel Holtzclaw. I think I was reading something or hearing something or something. I send him cards, and every once in a while he'll reply back to me. He's a nice guy, really awesome guy. So if you guys ever want to send him a card, he'll probably appreciate it too. But something about, I remember hearing, like, during mail call, when they're calling for people's names or numbers or whatever, he would just like get like this really special like, oh, someone sent me something, you know. And the days where you don't get something and everybody else around you gets something, it's kind of like a, oh, you know, it's kind, you know, I don't know. You kind of feel like, oh, I didn't get anything, you know. I don't know. But yeah, that's what I was told too. Is that letters and stuff are really important. That's why it's really important with these cards, guys. I'm not even joking. Send him a birthday card. Send him a Halloween card. Send him a Christmas card. It's really important. When is his birthday? October 19th. I made a mistake when I made the post originally. I got confused. Okay, so I remembered Making a Murderer. The second series came out on his birthday. The first series came out on my birthday. I got the two dates confused. So when I first made the post and I said December 8th or October 18th, I got that mixed up with my birthday and his birthday because, yeah, the second series came out on his birthday, but the first series came out on my birthday. Anyway, so it's October 19th. Yes, October 19th. Yeah, I write to Daniel. He's a nice guy. I feel for him in his case. Like, he's got a really, really rough battle, and he's going through some really unfair things that they're doing to him. If you guys ever follow his case, you can go over to Just Rhonda's channel, and she talks about his case a lot. It's a really, I feel for Daniel on his case. You know, it sucks. I don't know how else to say it, but yeah, he is sweet. He is a nice guy. He's a nice guy to talk to send letters to, and like I said, every once in a while he writes me back, and you know, I send him pictures of Arizona and stuff like that, and he appreciates it, you know. So I actually just went to, one of the things I get from the Dollar Tree is Halloween cards and stuff. So I'm getting ready to send off the Halloween cards to everybody. I write to Daniel Holtzclaw. I write to Melissa Kaluzinski, Brendan, Steven. I used to write to Charlie Erickson, but he's out now. You know, so I text him. But how old is Daniel when he was convicted? He was pretty young, wasn't he? Hold on, let me look it up. Let me see. Daniel. I know his birthday is the same month as me. We're actually the same age because he was born in 86 too. And his birthday is December 10th. So I always think that's funny. I'm like, we're a Sagittarius. You're a Sagittarius. I'm a Sagittarius. We're Sagittariuses. Okay, how long has he been in prison for? 2014. Does that sound about right? All right, now I have to do math. Hold on. So 1986 subtract 2014. He was 27 when he was convicted. Yeah, 10 years ago. Wow, that's so crazy how it's 10 years ago. I remember when his case made headlines. I remember being at work watching the convicted 15. I remember watching the last day when they were like, when we find Daniel Holtzclaw guilty. You know, I remember watching that live at work on the computer. And I remember thinking, while he was crying, I remember thinking, good, crying, because I thought he was guilty. I had no idea. I only, you know, at the time, and I think this was before I even knew Brendan. Yeah, it was like literally right before I met Brendan, because if he was convicted in 2015, and I didn't see Making a Murder until December of 2015, and then I wrote to Brendan in 2016. January or something like that. So I honestly thought when you go to trial, you have a fair shot, and if you're found guilty, then you must be guilty. That's honestly how I thought. Brendan's case opened my eyes a whole bunch. I never thought wrongful convictions was ever a thing. Never, ever, ever thought that that could be a thing, much less happen to a child. But to happen to somebody at the same age as me. So me and Daniel are the same age, almost exactly the same age. I'm 8 days apart from him, right? So to see someone my own age be wrongfully convicted, and then, like I said, I sat there and I was just like, this guy is guilty, obviously. He was just found guilty. You know, wrongful convictions don't happen. And you thought, well, he was convicted, so he must, exactly. I thought there must have been enough evidence to show the court that he was guilty. And I honestly was, because I'm very anti rapist, obviously. So I was like, good, you know. But, you know, now I look back and I'm like, damn, I feel like I owe him an apology, you know? Like, I mean, obviously I was just, you know, taken in by what the media, that's why I don't trust the media when it comes to news and reporting things, like, because even with Stephen and Brendan, the media twisted them to be guilty, and we all know that was fake. So, but yeah, no, you know, Daniel is one of those cases I remember watching, and I look back and I'm like, I wish I knew, you know what I mean? I remember when I first started going on Twitter, and I was, you know, posting about Brendan on Twitter, and I came across a Twitter account that was supporting of Daniel's innocence. And I remember I was like, Daniel, I know that guy. That's that cop that raped all those women. And I remember reading through the tweets, and they're like, is he innocent? Oh my gosh, I don't know, is he? And I remember talking to another supporter friend, and I said, do you remember when this cop was convicted of this? And I think he went to jail for like 300 and something years or whatever. That was his sentence. And I was like, well, people are saying that he's innocent. What do you think about that? And she's like, I don't know, you know, because, yeah, we were just still wrapping our minds around the whole concept of, you know, wrongful convictions and people faking evidence and twisting interrogations and witnesses' statements, and like, who would have thought? Yeah, exactly. Sure. I look at it all with, like, you know, even nowadays when people are like, oh, well, he's going up to trial, in the back of my head, I still think, well, he's still innocent until proven guilty. Like, I try very hard to remember, like, innocent until proven guilty, because I think that's very important. The media tends to just make him guilty before they never really state, like, well, this person's innocent. This is just what we're reporting on the facts of it. But they're innocent right now. And I feel like the media needs to be more aware of that. But they're not. But, so I'm going to get going because it's dinner time, and we're going to go get some fish because it's Friday. Fish Friday. But yeah, keep an eye out on the group page because we're going to be posting a lot of stuff coming up. Like I said, the pizza event, pumpkin carving, costumes, ugly sweater, Brendan's birthday. You've got Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas coming up, major holidays. So you all better get that fire under your butts and prepare to have some fun with me as we do fun things for Brendan to help distract him from this nightmare that him and his family's in. One thing is a mistake when you see evidence. Oh, it is horrifying. Like I said, it's really something when you think of it in the perspective of, like, that guy's the same age as me. Like, and he was a cop. He was a outstanding cop, citizen man guy, same age as me. And he was wrongfully convicted. It could happen to anybody. Anybody. You know, It happened to a 16-year-old. It happened to a guy that already went through it. It happened to a cop. You know, their own kind. They did it to their own kind. It's crazy. Anyway. All right. Well, you all have a great evening yourself. Please enjoy the weekend. Do something nice in honor of Linda and Brendan, and do something kind for, you know, the community, maybe even. I don't know. Go hug a dog. Go watch a movie. I appreciate you all for being here and for supporting Brendan and for supporting the channel. And a lot of you guys in the chat have been here for years, and I appreciate you all, and I think you all are great. And yeah, if you want a postcard, go to BrendanDassey.com and fill out the form. And hopefully next weekend, me and Pete's schedules will align and we can have Pete back on. I know he misses you all as much as you all miss him. So, all right. I'll see you guys later. And now I need to pick something to end this with. I think I'm going to make a video specifically for ending. But until then, I'm going to play this video.
The rules that Governor Evers has issued say nothing about restricting his ability to issue commutations. A commutation is the shortening of a sentence, and so that's one option on the table still for Brendan Dassey. And as for his rules regarding pardons, those rules say nothing about the case of someone who is actually innocent, like Brendan Dassey. When you have an innocent person sentenced to life behind prison, that's exactly the situation that the clemency power was tailor-made to address. This is a case that federal judges have called a profound miscarriage of justice, and we're calling on Governor Evers to remedy that injustice today.
it means everything, you know, to have a family that loves and supports me no matter what, and they always have my back, you know.
Yeah, and it really is heartening to know that so many people care and still care. And what would you tell people that want to get involved, that have seen your story, who didn't really have any idea of what goes on in our justice system, but now they do? Is there anything particular that you could advise someone?
Just keep fighting for me and keep showing your love and support.